Hello, it's Emmy here and welcome to this week's video. I am a personal trainer, health coach, yoga teacher and Reiki master, and I'm on a mission to help women love exercise again and to really take a holistic spiritual approach to exercise, because it's not just about our bodies, it's about our mental and spiritual health as well. And in this week's video, I wanted to talk about why you should never give up your morning routine no matter how overwhelmed you get. So I'm going to talk about what is important about morning routines or morning rituals and why you shouldn't give them up when you are feeling stressed and overwhelmed, what's really great to add into your morning rituals, and how to keep going no matter how stressed you are. So I think the common way to talk about morning routines is to call it a routine, and it can be such a masculine space. Like, you know, Tony Robbins does his plunge pull and beats his chest and does all that kind of stuff. And a lot of men talk about their morning routines or maybe their morning rituals where they have hours of writing and meditating and all that kind of stuff. Well, let's be honest, us women don't have that amount of time. We have families to look after, households to run, jobs to go to, businesses to run, all that kind of stuff. So I want to show you how you can create a morning routine that's not very long, but that is really helpful. And the reason I want to change the language is I'd prefer we call it a morning ritual, because rituals are very personalized. And when we become ritualized with our morning tasks, they become something we really want to do because they're personal. And it also means we can change them from time to time. We don't have to get stuck with the cold plunge pool no matter, you know, what day of the week or day of the year it is. So let's throw out that idea of morning routines, because routine just sounds like a chore, and let's start talking about morning rituals. So morning rituals are so beneficial for mental and physical health, but they really help us in lots of different ways. So the first thing I want to talk about is when you've created a ritual that's really personal to you and feels really good for you to do, it really helps with morning motivation. So instead of rolling over and pressing the snooze button over and over again, you want to get up because you're going to start the day doing something that you really love doing. So it really can help with motivation. The second thing morning rituals are fantastic for is for clarity. So if you're like me and most people on this planet, we have a million things to do. We have a million people to look after. You know, we've got businesses or work to look after. We've got households to look after. We've got hundreds of tasks to do in any given day. And if you wake up in the morning and just go for it and don't really think about it or plan for your day, then you're going to be all over the shop, and that's going to add to levels of stress and overwhelm. So a morning ritual will give you clarity and will let you know what's important for me today, what's important for me on a soul level, what are the things that are really attached to my values and the person I truly am. And over time, you can start to build a life that actually is in line with your values, rather than just chasing your tail or chasing the next task that everyone else wants you to do every day. And the third thing I love about morning rituals is they do help with productivity. When you're checking on your planning every morning, you can sort of see that from the day before, what did I get done? What felt good to me? What do I want to do tomorrow? What's my long-term plan? So it actually does help with productivity, and it also helps with, I'm going to talk to you about my morning ritual soon, but it helps you to make sure that you're doing a bit of exercise every day, you're doing a bit of mindfulness every day, you're doing a bit of self-development every day, so that you are actually ticking those important boxes. And I don't know if you've heard of, you know, the big rocks and the little rocks, but what we tend to do with our lives is fill it up with all these little tiny tasks that actually aren't that important, but we're just trying to make other people happy, or we're just trying to tick the boxes of what society expects of us. But when we spend a bit of time every day tuning into what's important to us, we actually fill our lives with the big rocks, the things that are really, really important to us. And then all the little rocks will fall into place around that. They always do. So it really does help with those levels of productivity as well. So let's talk about what makes up a really fantastic morning ritual. And in my mind, there's 4 elements that just make one perfect, but you can make it very personalized to you, right? So these are the 4 big tasks that I think are important for the ritual, but you can find ways to make it really personalized and really ritualistic for you. So the first thing that I think is really important is mindfulness. So whether that's meditation or some sort of mindfulness practice, but it's a really great way of just getting the brain to be in a place that's not anxious, not overwhelmed, not stressed. And it trains the brain to do that over a long period of time. So the more that you meditate, and I don't mean you have to meditate for hours at a time, but I mean the longer you meditate throughout your life on a hopefully pretty much daily basis, then you're training your brain to not go into overwhelm, to not get anxious, and to just stay in the present moment. So the first thing is mindfulness. The second thing is movement. Now, I've talked a little bit about how my morning ritual isn't very long, and so I'm not saying you have to go and do an hour's worth of exercise every morning, but a few stretches can be fantastic. If you've got some energy, maybe like a quick walk around the block or some star jumps just to get the blood flow going. Just moving the body, getting the heart pumping, especially as we get older, we wake up feeling quite creaky and sore a lot of the time. So this gives us the opportunity to stretch the body, to open up the body, and to have the body ready for the day. The third thing I love to include in a morning ritual is some sort of personal development. So my favorite thing is using tarot cards, and for me, I'm learning about the tarot. So every morning I'm learning something new. But for you, it might be reading a book or a journal or a gratitude journal, or perhaps doing a little bit of a craft activity, a bit of crochet or a bit of, scrapbooking every single morning to make sure you're tapping into that part of your brain that's learning something new on a daily basis. And then the fourth thing that I really do love about adding into a morning ritual is planning. So what are the 3 to 5 things that you want to achieve on a daily basis? What's important today? And that can, again, just reduce that brain clutter that we have so often and help us really see what we're achieving every single day, rather than just running around every day like a chicken with our heads cut off. So why is a morning ritual so important even when you're overwhelmed and stressed? And why would I say that you should keep that in your routine even when life's getting a bit overwhelming? Well, the first thing I just mentioned was that it really helps to reduce that brain clutter. If you're spending some time every morning, quality time every morning, intentional time every morning to write down what you want to get done for the day, then you can get less distracted and you're going to be more likely to actually achieve what you want to achieve, which is going to give you that sense of well-being and self-esteem, which is hopefully going to help you be more assertive and say no to all the other things that you don't want to do. So there is this ongoing and flowing effect of doing these little things every day, and planning helps you to really reduce that mind clutter. The second thing is when we move our bodies, we do get that endorphin rush. And so when we're feeling stressed, those feel-good hormones are so much more important, and they help to counteract the stress and overwhelm that we're feeling on an actual physical basis. So I highly recommend moving your body every day, especially when you're stressed, because that's going to help to counteract those feelings of stress. And then of course, mindfulness is so important, because again, I explained earlier how it helps to keep you on track, helps you to feel less anxiety and less overwhelm. And then finally, when we get to every day do something we love, like a craft project or read an inspiring book or do some journaling or tarot cards like I do, it gives you that sense of motivation. It's a reason to get up in the morning. You've got something good for you to do on a daily basis. And overall, it means, especially if you're doing this in the morning, that you're getting some you time. No matter what happens for the rest of the day, you've ticked that you time box first, which means that you're more likely to be able to look after everybody else and all those other tasks with a lot more presence, a lot less resentment, and you're going to feel motivated to do what you need to get done. So you might be thinking, okay, Emma, so easy to say, no matter how stressed you are, make sure you do your morning ritual. I know, it's beautiful in practice. In theory, how can we make it happen in practice? Well, the first thing is to get some sort of accountability. So maybe it's, having a morning rituals buddy. I mean, we've all learned so much about technology in the last little while. Maybe you could do a Zoom call every morning and just check in for your, 15 or 20 minutes of morning ritual with your bestie every morning. Or you could join a program like my Magic Mornings program, which is a group program, and you've got other people around you that are doing exactly the same morning ritual as you. You have a coach like me that's helping you with your morning ritual and keeping you motivated. So getting accountability is really important. The second thing is to really reward yourself. So, in these times of stress, we tend to really beat ourselves up for the things we haven't done rather than focusing on all the good stuff we actually have done. So set up some rewards. If you've done your morning ritual, A, that's a reward in itself, but B, maybe if you've done the morning ritual for a whole 5 days in a row, you can, go to the cafe for a nice piece of cake, or buy yourself that dress you've been eyeing off. So make sure you reward yourself, especially when you're starting something new like a morning ritual, and especially when life gets overwhelming. The third thing that you can do is actually keep track of your progress. For some people, this is highly motivating. So you might have like a little board on your fridge where you put a star, a sticker every day that you've done your morning ritual. Or maybe, you've got an app where you can track your daily meditations or something like that. And for some people, not putting up the sticker every day or not having a daily tick in their meditation app can feel really bad. So they're likely to keep going because they're tracking it and they're making sure they're doing it on a daily basis. And then the last thing I want to remind you about is forgiveness. So if you are feeling totally overwhelmed and life has gotten too much and you fall off the morning ritual bandwagon, don't beat yourself up about that. You're a human being. We all make mistakes, or we all make choices that maybe aren't as beneficial as they could be. And you deserve your love and your respect, no matter if you've done your morning rituals on a daily basis or not. We all fall off the wagon, we all get back on the wagon, we all fall off the wagon, we all get back on the wagon. You deserve your own love and respect no matter what happens. So remember to forgive yourself if you don't stay on track. So I hope I've talked you into morning rituals. I know that when I have a morning ritual or a daily ritual practice, I must admit sometimes mornings aren't the best for me because I do early morning fitness classes. But if I have certain routines that I do on a daily basis, and when I'm keeping track of these on a daily basis, they make a huge difference to my life. I feel more productive, I feel more confident, I feel like I'm able to take on the world. And I can see that with my clients who are engaged in the Magic Morning program, and I can see that for lots of people around me who do these daily rituals. It makes a huge difference to self-esteem, to productivity, to physical and mental health. It's so important. So if you'd like to learn more about the Magic Mornings program, there'll be a link attached to this video somewhere that you can click on and join us, and you get access to 5 videos which show you 5 different Magic Morning routines. They only go for 17 minutes. They include mindfulness, movement, self-development and planning, and you also get access to a Facebook group which includes a monthly live Magic Mornings with me over Zoom, so we can connect with each other every month. So the link will be attached to this video, and I thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in Magic Mornings soon.